Hello, welcome to Living and Active. Welcome to the first official long form video on the Not by Sight playlist. I tried earlier to record this video. It dragged on for like an hour. There was all kinds of problems with it, and I inadvertently ended up doxing about four people as I was going through some of the materials that I've gotten in, and so I just decided to delete that whole video and start again. So here we go, take 2 of the inaugural video. For those of you who don't know, my name is Living&Active. I am a C6, C7 incomplete quadriplegic. There's some other stuff going on, but for the purposes of this playlist, I have an interest in learning as much as I can about the experiences of other types of people who have other types of disability. I keep trying to go back every once in a while to learning American Sign Language, and just recently I have taken on the opportunity, at least, to try to, if not learn tactile Braille, at least pick up some printed Braille, so that just whatever benefits can happen, communication, understanding can happen between people with various sorts of disability. I've been trying for some time to I guess add to the why can't I think of words? I'm having such a hard time. Okay, so for the last 3 days, or 3 days before this one, because it's the beginning of the day 4, for 3 days prior to this, I've been running myself incredibly hard, emptying out my living space of all of the things that I was preparing for the Mottles New Machine shop. I've been building that up for over 2 years, and I was cohabitating with what was supposed to be inside of a shop if I ever got one. I never got a shop. I still have the skills and the equipment and the machines, but I felt my time would be better spent doing things like learning how to read Braille, communicate in Braille, for the sake of people with other kinds of disabilities. And so I spent 3 days upgrading my storage unit, moving to a different storage unit, and getting many of the sewing machines and the shop equipment out of my living space and delivered into storage, getting it stashed away, specifically so I can create this area that the camera is focused on right now. And because this is a playlist that is meant to be available for topics such as blindness and visual impairment, let me try my hand once again at giving a video description narration of the scene that is on the camera. So what you're looking at is what I'm going to refer to from here on out as my Braille learning workstation. From this vantage point, the field of view is rather low because I am a man in a wheelchair. So what you're seeing, what is in the video screen, is from my point of view as someone that is in a wheelchair. Directly across from me at eye level on the wall of the Braille learning station, or behind the Braille learning station, is a wooden mechanical clock that has a white face, black Roman numerals, and a brass pendulum. The time on the clock is 7:19. Next to the mechanical clock is a crocheted banner The color of the yarn that's used in the crochet, a bunch of browns, greens, some earth tones, and there is text that is stitched into the banner. It says recovery room, with the two O's in the word room being made by large wooden buttons. Directly beneath the recovery room banner is a small white coffee maker machine. If we go over to the other corner on the other side of the clock, there is a low bookshelf. On the bottom shelf is a row of vinyl records. On the center shelf, there are a bunch of cast iron and other antique type of goods, and some vintage CD player and two AM/FM personal cassette player type radios, an antique camera, some antique miniature oil lamps, and a few other things that are that have interesting textures that I hope to use to build up my ability to gain sensitivity in my working fingertips, to try to help me get around, manage things or whatever else unsighted. On the top shelf of the little bookcase, on the left hand side, there's a large oil lantern. Right next to it on the right is a suitcase style record player that is closed. Next to that, there is a table. It is a long table. It has metal legs and a wooden top. The wooden top is covered by a coarsely woven rough texture fabric in browns and tans, very earth tone type things. Going towards the back of the table, on the left side of the coffee pot, near the center of the table, there is a wooden tray that has an inlay of what looks to be, I don't know what kind of leaves these are, but this is raised. It's very well defined texture in the stem and the veins of the leaves. The edges of the leaves are very pronounced, able to pick up with my fingers, which is what I'm doing right now, so you actually know what's going on in the video. I'm tracing the outside of the leaves and the main stems of the leaves. There's a bamboo type edge to the tray that gives it some depth. Inside the tray, I have a Ziploc bag that contains some ground coffee beans, a coffee scoop, and a teaspoon for use with my coffee machine. Next to the tray is a stack of spiral bound Braille learning books. Some of these are a combination of printed Braille and raised Braille. Others of these are strictly raised Braille. The top book is for the sighted people, in case you want to learn how to get into doing stuff like this. After contacting the APH, the American Printing House for the Blind, located in the Midwest, I was able to find on their website, in their bookstore, a set of 2 books that make up book 1 of the Illinois Braille series. One book of the book 1 is UEB edition, which means it's printed English, and it features Um, word drills. Everything is two-dimensional, printed, flat. There's no embossing that's happening here. There are all kinds of familiarization drills for the sighted Braille learner. Here you have on the first page, first work page, I guess. You have the Braille alphabet. Again, this is in printed English. It's not raised at all. There's no texture. It's not tactile. There is another edition of the book one that is in the uncontracted raised Braille, which means it's embossed with Braille. There's two different kinds of Braille. There's contracted and uncontracted. Uncontracted is basic Braille. Every single character stands for a letter or a number or punctuation. And then there's contracted Braille, where you have some configurations that stand for combinations of sounds, and they smush stuff together to make it more efficient, I guess, to reproduce in print materials. But I have a stack of those books, and I have such an open space up here on front of the table because all of these books, for obvious reasons, they open up to lay flat. So these aren't really books that are made for, except for maybe the cider one, but for the actual tactile Braille reading, just laying them out flat on a hard surface and being able to let your hands, your fingertips, focus on actually catching the texture of the text is how I'm assuming these are set up to do, because that's what makes sense to me. So I have that stack there. On the front of, or in the center of the table, in front of the coffee tray, I have a very interesting set of dually adaptive devices. These are the keys to a Perkins School for the Blind Braille embossing machine, which is like a typewriter that types in Braille. Since all Braille characters are based on whatever combinations of 6 dots inside of a cell that you can get, there's only need for 6 6 specific configurations for where the number of the dot goes. Now, for a Braille cell, I'm not a teacher, I'm a student, but I'm sharing what I learn as I learn it for the benefit of others who have a genuine interest in doing so. The Braille cell, the building block of Braille communication, consists of these 6 dots that are configured the way you see here. For the unsighted, what I'm pointing at is a picture of a ladybug. The dots that go in a Braille cell are used for the dots on our shell. And you can see here on the left side, the order number for the cells goes, or for the dots goes 1, 2, 3. And then from the top down on the right side is 4, 5, 6. So these keys, in and of themselves, the ones on the machine are set up kind of the same way. I don't have the machine yet, so I can't show you. But the keys themselves, they have raised Braille, so that you can obviously number the keys that you're going to be operating in order to make up these cells and these characters. The configuration goes 1, 2, 3. You have to center. This is the space bar. So from the center out to the left of the space bar, you have in order 1, 2, 3. The Braille characters here This backwards L looking thing for you sighted people is the Braille symbol for a number sign, which tells you that the next character that follows that is a number. Here we have number sign, and then .1 is raised in the next cell. So .1 corresponds with the letter A and the number 1. So we have 1. Then you have here on the next key over, the number sign. You have dots 1 and 2 that are raised. This corresponds with the letter B and the number 2. Here you have on the next one, no surprise, you have the number sign. Then you have dots 1 and 4, which represent the letter C and the number 3. And you have number sign 4, which is dots 1, 4, and 5. Number sign, and then the character for the number 5, which is dots 1 and 5. And you have number sign and 6, which is 1, 2, and 4. So that's how you navigate your way around figuring out what you're looking at. The operation for this thing is obviously whatever dots you need raised in the character, they all have to be hit simultaneously. Okay, so someone like me that has 2 half hands, this is going to prove to be very difficult. I suffer no delusions how messy it's going to get when I try to do this. But to help me, the second part of the adaptation of these keys is that these slip on. I'm now showing the underside of the key for the number 3. These slip onto the existing keys on the machine, and they are extended out with these little divots for your finger to grab hold of and keep pressure on to give you more leverage and make it easier for you to actually depress the keys. Same with the space bar in the middle. It's basically just an extension to use the laws of physics in your favor so that you can actually have a better chance of operating the keys to make your Braille. Below the table, one of the other reason why I needed to hurry up and get all of the shop stuff out of the way so I could set up the Braille learning station is the middle drawer. Underneath the table there is a large 3-drawer storage system. On the top drawer is a blue and white disabled accessibility bumper sticker that says wheelchair access required, please keep clear. The center drawer has a lot of Braille learning and Braille reading materials in it, along with things like the learning cards like I just had with the picture of the ladybug. But before I got everything taken out here and moved to storage, that center drawer was full of tools that I was going to use to start making parts for sewing machines. Those definitely needed to get out of the way because I knew there was a lot of materials coming. And I know that books that are embossed in Braille, raised Braille, are thicker. The paper's thicker, the characters take up more space, the lines themselves take up more space so that the text is less condensed than printed text is. So I knew I would need more space, more room. So I dedicated that center drawer to be right here on the table, or under the table, for this Braille learning station. I had planned on going more thoroughly into what I have set up here, but I'm hoping from my description in the beginning of this video um, that anybody that is blind or vision impaired, when they come here and they hear the introduction to one of these videos, they will be able to get a feel for where they are by listening to the description of this video, or where I am. And I'm going to try to do my best to use as much descriptive narration as I'm talking through these videos as possible. I know I like to try to put text descriptions for those who have text readers in their devices, but I would rather do what I can to try to make it even more accessible by not having to make people go through unnecessary steps and added adaptations just to be able to pick up the information from video when they could just sit and relax and know what's going on without the added muss of more and more devices. So please let me know in the description for this video. I'm going to tag several YouTube channels that belong to blind or vision impaired people, and I'm going to ask them to watch this video and to let me know how I can improve the quality of the descriptions I use when I'm speaking, and if they have any tips on how to balance speaking to both blind, visually impaired, and sighted viewers on my video content, because I want to engage both without losing either. So if any of you guys, Sammy from Folk Fusion, he's a subscriber. I'm definitely going to be asking him for feedback, and I will also be giving links to his page and the channels. Why do I keep saying page? This is not Facebook. Links to the channels of these other YouTube personalities, content creators that are active in the work of helping people either learn about as sighted people or become better accustomed or acquainted with everything that's available to them as blind or visually impaired people. So I'll be reaching out to all of them and just leaving an open invitation for them to give feedback on what they think I'm doing here, what I could do better, what they like, what they don't like, whatever. So for the curious, for those who are blind, visually impaired, what I've been trying to hold my hand steady on to capture for the last few minutes while I've been talking is it's not working because my hand is getting tired, my voice is getting tired. I need to put all of this stuff away and just rest for a while. I'm in not great shape right now, but what I'm trying to show as the closing scene here, for the benefit of those who benefit from descriptive narration, the mechanical clock is on the left side of the screen. The recovery room banner is center to right, and just below it on the right side is the coffee maker. That is the scene that I'm going to try to end this video on. So let me know how you think it went, how it did, if you have any questions about the materials that I actually have, or whatever feedback that you have. Thanks for watching, and I hope that the learning can flow back and forth between people of different kinds of disability, and understanding and compassion and mutual reciprocated growth all around. So till next time, if there is a next time, and there might not be, God bless you.